students. This lesson is about reading with expression and decoding words that are homophones. We will be reading Fluency Passage 8.1, Seeing the Sea. Reading with expression means changing your voice as you are reading to better portray the feelings and events in the text. When good readers read with expression, they change the pitch, rhythm, volume, and tone to make the text more interesting and easy to understand. A good reader will read the words in the text just as they would say it to a friend. Good readers emphasize the important words, pause when necessary, and pay attention to the punctuation marks in a sentence. As you're reading quotations, sometimes you have to read ahead a little bit to understand how you should pronounce those words and emphasize which words. Listen to this example to the side. Well, of course it's soft, said Christopher. It's sand. Paulina looked up and just stared at the water. It's amazing, she uttered at last. Now let's read Fluency Passage 8.1, Seeing the Sea. Paulina couldn't believe that she was finally going to see the ocean, which was truly a new experience for her. She had immigrated to the United States from Belarus, which is landlocked or surrounded on all sides by other countries with no access to the ocean or sea. It seemed remarkable that she and her classmates could now take a school trip to the ocean, and it was just a quick ride from school. Paulina had been living in California for months and had waited so long for this day. Her friend Christopher had been joking all week that Paulina was finally going to see the sea. When they arrived, Christopher grinned and said, "I suppose you're impressed?" Paulina could only stare, as though her tongue were tied. She noticed that the sand felt strange under her feet and wondered if she'd be allowed to touch it. She bent down, letting the grains of sand slip through her fingers. I had been expecting something coarse like sandpaper, but sand is soft, Paulina finally said aloud. Well, of course it's soft, said Christopher. It's sand. Paulina looked up and just stared at the water. It's amazing, she uttered at last. This is nothing, said Christopher. At high tide, it looks totally different, but it's too bad that you can't actually surf here. My cousins live on a beach where they can surf all summer long. The waves are great. You just have to bring your own board. Board? Paulina exclaimed. I'm sure I could never get bored with the ocean. Christopher looked astonished, saw that Paulina was grinning, and grinned too. How was my expression? Skip the video back and practice reading along with me. As we were reading, I noticed quite a few words that were homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same but are spelled differently and have different meanings. A few examples might be male and male, or pair and pair, doe and doe, whole and whole. Now let's look at the homophones and practice decoding them from our passage, Seeing the Sea. See and see, tide and tide, allowed and allowed, course and course, board and board. Can you find more examples of homophones in this text? Read carefully when you see homophones and look for clues that help you understand what the different meanings are. Now it's your turn to practice. At the bottom of the page, find a copy of the passage. Practice reading it several times, then make a recording for your teacher. Have fun reading!